Right. After we left the Four Seasons that night, we went over to the House of Blues, which was another place we looked at that day, which is a pretty interesting place.
It's a nice joint, yeah.
It's a nice joint. Have you seen how the bar opens up into the... I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yes, you're sitting there eating, and you're sitting at the bar, and suddenly they can actually move things around, and the stage appears.
Robin, the bar splits in half and moves to the side while people are on it, and then you're looking down at a stage.
Down?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Magic.
So we were at the House of Blues, and the bunch of us are hanging out, and then somebody came to welcome us to the House of Blues. This guy named Dan Aykroyd came in.
You're kidding.
No, so he walks in while we're having drinks, and he's like, welcome to the House of Blues. Thank you very much for coming. I'm glad you're here.
He owns it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a part owner.
And I said, do you come here a lot? And he goes, I try to go to every club. Whenever I'm in that city, I try to stop by the club. And, he's really into it. And then, he offered to buy us a bottle of champagne, and,
nice.
He wanted us to be his guest. It was really nice. And then he said that he would love to get 5 minutes alone with you in a private conversation where you guys can talk about UFOs and the things that you can't talk about because of infinity.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walked away, and then we spent 5 minutes debating. Did he mean...
Was he serious?
No, he was serious. We couldn't decide whether he meant Infinity, the radio company, or Infinity,
the number.
Right.
But then we saw him later on that night. We asked him, and he meant Infinity, the radio company.
Why wouldn't you talk about it because of Infinity?
No.
He really believes in aliens,
Yes,
doesn't he?
He's heavily into the UFO thing. I mean, I've seen him interviewed about it.
Yeah.
And he's knowledgeable about it.
But it's not a put-out.
No, it's not a put-out.
Knowledgeable.
Well, it's knowledgeable as you can be on
How can you be knowledgeable about aliens that no one's ever seen?
You know what? I take it back.
I believe that in the next solar system,
he's got a theory.
he might be an alien. What's his theory?
Well, no, I've seen him talk about how he believes there's life on other planets, that the government's,
keeping it a secret.
All
And he thinks I'm not willing to talk about it because Infinity Broadcasting doesn't want me talking about aliens?
I'm not sure. I think he wanted... It sounded more like he wanted to inform you. He said, he said that he liked you. He thought you were very funny, and he'd like to talk to you about that specifically.
Why has he never come on the show all the years I've said good things about him?
I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird time to ask him. I don't want to ask him in front of all those people.
Right. I don't care now.
But we said, if we did the show from there, would he come by? And he said, yeah, I'd love to. I love Howard.
Oh, all right.
That's odd.
It's odd when someone loves me, you mean?
No, it's just odd about him because he never has made any indication that he likes us at all.
That's true. That's for sure.
Not like he hasn't had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then I saw Jason Priestley, but he didn't.
Who hates us?
And he didn't look at me. I mean, he saw me, but he
didn't acknowledge.
He didn't acknowledge me in any way. We stood next to each other. He was waiting for his car. I mean, we're standing in front of this restaurant.
Why are you getting
ass to ass, literally?
Remind me why he's mad again?
Because he came on the show once, and there were allegations in the paper that he was might be using drugs or might be drinking, and we just asked him about it, and it really pissed him off. He felt that we were his friends and shouldn't even ask him about those stupid allegations. And then from there, it just ballooned.
It's so silly. It's so silly.
And then we played that clip of him on the Fox News channel where some people thought he might be drunk, and he used the F-word live. Exactly.
But that was recent. I mean, he hasn't talked to us in quite a while.
Yeah, I remember somebody telling us that during your birthday show last year, they ran into him in an elevator, and he went off on this tirade about what an ass you are, and, you're a jerk. And
I know.
He's really mad.
And he used to love the show. You went to the Playboy Mansion, too?
What's that?
Did you go to the Playboy Mansion?
Playboy Mansion.
Well, how are you leaving that out?
Fed the monkeys.
I heard you fed the monkeys.
Fed the monkeys, went to the zoo.
Oh, good.
But I didn't see Hef there. But, yeah, that's a great place.
Why, are we thinking of doing the show from there?
That's another
option.
Oh,
really? Do that?
Well, I would do that, too. But if I'm staying with Norm, I can't be at the Playboy Mansion.
That would be pretty awkward.
Yeah. And I don't see the Playboy people putting me up, so I'm going to stick with Norm over at that Perfect 10
Yeah,
mansion.
if you have to make a decision between the two,
you bet.
You got to go with Norm.
Going with Norm.
I think he just started this magazine so he could get girls.
Clearly.
Duh.
Because he ain't making money with it.
No, it's not like a business proposition. It's
He reminds me of Citizen Kane. When they tell Citizen Kane, you lost $1 million this year, and he says, yeah, in 150 years I'll be broke. That's what I think of when I see Norm.
You saw Dan Aykroyd? You saw Rachel Hunter, you said?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Beautiful girl. He absolutely had zero interest in me, the newly single Howard Stern. And gave me no indication of interest.
Oh, and I saw David Spade.
Oh,
yeah, I
what
spoke
does he
to
look
him.
Like?
I spoke to David Spade over the weekend.
Did you see signs of a struggle?
You know what? I'm just going to tell you. Howard can tell you the story. It's like when you know the story, it's just not that funny anymore.
Yeah, it's not. It's horrible. It's a horrible story.
No, Robin, and it's not like, believe me, when you hear the story, you'll know.
Did you see signs of a struggle?
He had a mark on his face. He had marks on his hands, absolutely. And he was limping.
That's all I asked.
Yeah.
He was limping.
Yeah, he really had a traumatic experience with this guy who lived in his house. Spade was telling me the whole story. Maybe I should take a break and then tell
Well,
you.
he's never going to tell us. We got to get it from you.
I don't know. I said to the guy, call in. I'm traumatized, blah, 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 blah,
It'll do you good to talk about it.
Yeah. What is it, Dave?
Hey, good morning, Pinocchio. How's that toucan beak of yours this morning, sir?
My toucan beak is fine. What can I do for you?
In the death pool, did anybody have Scott Smith from the group Loverboy?
No, of course.
No. Did he die?
I'm just curious.
Well,
He got lost at sea.
he's
Right.
feared dead.
Huh?
What about Chris?
Imagine
Thank God the death pool didn't get that obscure.
lost at sea is your epitaph.
Right. What about Chris Danley, the jockey?
How do you get lost at sea in this
He
day
was
and
in
age?
a boat,
Yeah.
and this huge wave hit the boat, broke the steering wheel, and took him.
But they found the boat.
They still found the boat. They haven't found him.
Now, is he the lead singer?
No, he was the bassist.
Oh, please.
Jerry had the guy in the cars. What's the difference?
But he sang songs that were hits.
At least, hardly anybody knows Loverboy, for God's sake.
Imagine in this day and
Pinocchio,
age.
one more thing.
Imagine in this day and age your boat gets lost at sea.
The boat
Yeah.
isn't lost. He
Yeah, right. The boat's fine.
With the boat.
He got washed over. What are people doing on these boats? I'm never on a boat. One time I was on a boat.
They
Hey,
gotta be
one last thing. You hear McCartney was at the Nick game with his girlfriend? He looks really old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to him, man? He used to be sort of cool. I mean, he aged really
And
badly.
it's happened in just a couple of years.
And you know what's funny,
His
too?
wife died.
Worse than anything is the guy can't dress. He wears, like, vests and the old man blue jeans.
You know what it looks like he wears?
He's a faggy guy.
It looks like he wears stuff that fans send him. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got tons of dough.
Or
Get
like
a,
his mother dressed him.
get a nice pair of pants. Get some slacks.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Your daughter's a designer, for God's sake.
Put an earring in like Keith Richards. He's pulling it off.
Keith, he will never give it up.
No. Jesus.
Anyway, ready for a rematch whenever you are.
All right, handsome. Thank you. That's
Bye.
Dave.
He also asked about that jockey who died. There was a little jockey who was found dead in his apartment.
Boat? Is he in a boat on the
He
bathtub?
had massive head trauma, and I don't know what happened to him.
Young guy?
No, he just retired.
I'd rather just think. Rosalie, you're on the air.
Hi, Howard. How are you?
Hi.
Okay, I have a story that I've been trying to tell you for 3 years, just can't get through.
Yeah.
I was at New Year's Eve at the Town Tavern in Jersey, at the Spanish restaurant. Next table was Rosie O'Donnell with her sister and Mike Myers' mother and a whole group of people. And everything was fine. They were talking about real estate and all kinds of stuff. Champagne came to the table. They started drinking with their lobster. And Rosie and this little blonde, short-haired, blonde, pretty little girl started making out at the table. And it was the first, not that she didn't always.
No,
gay,
she's in
but-
love with Tom Cruise.
Wait a minute.
God,
you
can't
sure
be in
that
love
was
with Tom
Rosie
Cruise.
O'Donnell?
That can't be her.
Somebody who looked at
Definitely.
No, you don't understand. She's in love with Tom Cruise.
I know, and it kills me when I watch the show to hear that.
That kills you.
And then, like,
Maybe she likes both sexes.
don't think so. Not the way her and this little blonde girl were going at it.
Why didn't you run out and buy a camera?
Yeah, then nobody has a camera.
Nobody has a camera.
You know, if you don't want to know something, you don't face the people. You face the wall in a restaurant. Her back was to the wall, the whole entire restaurant. Very nasty little lady.
Oh, what very nice. Who's the
Who became nasty?
Little Rosie O'Donnell, very nasty little lady, because this little old lady was watching. Didn't know that she was Rosie O'Donnell, but she was watching these two women making out like she'd never seen this before. And Rosie O'Donnell got up, gave the guy a tip. Guy said, Happy New Year. She walked specially around towards the little old lady, looked at the little old lady, and went, and you have a good New Year, too. Because she was making a spectacle of herself. She knew everybody was watching her.
Fighting the world. Well, listen, I don't know if that's true or not.
Anybody. You didn't get a driver's license or anything.
But she has a right to her lifestyle.
She's Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, she's very, very, when you see her, I'm sure you've seen her in person.
No, I
You know
haven't.
who this woman is.
All right. Hey, I got to go. Thanks.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, honey.
Bye-bye.
You sure it was me? You know, maybe Rosie just leaned over and kissed the girl for Happy New
Oh,
Year.
please.
You never know with these stories. People exist.
Could have been Anne H. They look similar. Wow. I got to take a break. Listen, if you're on the phone, can you hold? Can you hold?
Please.
Please hold. I promise you I'll get to you next. I promise. I'll tell you the David Spade story, too.
All right.
I'll tell you what he told me, anyway. We'll be back right after these words.
Now, looky here.
Howard Stern Show.
Hi, this is David Spade. I'm sick of saying hi. I don't want to say hi to these people. I don't know them. This is David Spade, and I get to go to the coolest parties, like Brad Pitt's wedding. And what does Howard Stern do? Give Beetlejuice a job and hang out with Stuttering John and Dominic Barbara, the bloated fat attorney. I know I should be envious, but I'll muddle through. You are listening to Social Butterfly, Howard Stern.